Morning, council staff, and those joining us on the YouTube channel to today's Committee of the Whole meeting. Just before we get going, just want to recognize that this is Be a Donor Month. Some of us are in our green shirts today, so we did have our flag raising yesterday, so it's on the website. People can view the proclamation from the mayor. So, calling the meeting to order, the approval of the agenda, the resolution that the Committee of the Whole agenda for April 8th, 2026 be approved. Moved by Councillor LaChapelle, seconded by Councillor Bumstead. All those in favor? And that is carried. We have, anyone have a disclosure of pecuniary interest? Not seeing any. If you do come across one, you can let us know and file the paperwork with the clerk. We have no presentations or delegations. That takes us into Protective and Development Services. I'll turn it over to Councillor Raymond.
Thank you, Deputy. Welcome everyone to such a great summit. We're going to get underway with item 5.012, Manager of Municipal Law Enforcement Services, monthly activity report. I have a recommendation that item PDS 2026-12, dated April 8th, 2026, regarding the monthly activity report, Municipal Law Enforcement Services, March 2026, be received. Moved by Councillor Talbot, seconded by Councillor Larmont. Officer Belcourt, anything else you'd like to add to the information?
Thank you, through the chair. Nothing further to add, but happy to answer any questions.
Perfect. Staff, any questions or comments? Sorry, Council. Any questions or comments? Oh, I think I was frozen there. Sorry, call for the vote again. I did not see it. All those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Seem to be having a little bit of internet experience issues here. Item 5.2, PDS 2026-14, Chief Building Official Manager of Building Services, monthly activity report. I have a recommendation moved by Councillor Bumstead, seconded by His Worship, that item PDS 2026-14, dated April 8th, 2026, regarding the monthly activity report, Building Services Division, March 2026, be received. Mr. Craig, would you like to add anything to your report?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Craig is off this week, so I am here in his stead. Happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you, Chief. Seeing none. All those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. One more item. Hope the internet holds up. PDS 2026-015. General Manager, Protective and Development Services, Fire Chief, CEMC, monthly activity report. I have a recommendation moved by Councillor LaChapelle, seconded by Deputy Mayor, that item PDS 2026-15, dated April 8th, 2026, regarding the monthly activity report, General Manager, Protective and Development Services, Fire Chief, CEMC, March 2026, be received. Chief, after all that, do you have anything you'd like to add to your report?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Nothing further to add.
Thank you. Hang on. There we go. Sorry about that. All those, any questions or comments from council? All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Deputy Mayor, I turn the floor back to you.
Thanks, Councillor Raymond. Well done. Well done by staff reporting. We'll move on to operational services. Councillor Larmont.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I have item 6.1, OS 2026-016, General Manager, Operational Services, Manager of Engineering, read 2025 wastewater summary reports. I have a recommendation moved by Councillor Bumstead and seconded by Councillor LaChapelle that reads that OS 2026-016 dated April 8th, 2026 regarding the 2025 wastewater annual performance reports be received. Mr. Barrio, do you have anything to add?
Not at this time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, I'll open the floor to members of council. Deputy Mayor.
Thanks, Councillor Larmont, and it's not a question, it's just a comment. Enjoyed the summary reports, and I think it just emphasizes the infiltration we do have. You know, when you look at the summer months versus the wet months, it's anywhere from twice to 3 times the amount of water we have to treat. So I know we're looking into it. So, but it's just it's amazing. Let's put it that way. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Motion carried. Item 6.2, OS 2026-017, General Manager Operational Services, Manager of Engineering, March storm and wastewater treatment plant occurrences. I have a recommendation moved by Councillor Talbot and seconded by Councillor Raymond that reads that OS 2026-017 dated April 8th, 2026 regarding the wastewater system vulnerability during spring melt / heavy rain, March 11th, 2026 be received for information. Mr. Barrio, anything to add?
Again, similar to what the Deputy Mayor just mentioned, this report was really just an information item to help emphasize the fact that we have a lot of infiltration into our sanitary system. So I'm happy to answer any questions directly on the report.
Okay, I open the floor to council. Councillor Raymond.
Through the chair, Marie Sean, I had a question regarding the flow rates, the average daily flow and the peak daily flow, and how they relate to the numbers. And maybe it's just my misunderstanding. So when I look at the peak daily flow rate for Port McNicoll, it shows 6,600 meters. And yet we didn't exceed that, but had an overflow event anyway. So am I misunderstanding how that relationship works? I wonder if you briefly explain to me how that works. Thank you.
So the peak daily flow could be multiple days, and it's not always at that volume. So the day before it could be 4,000 cubic meters, and the plant just never has a chance to catch up again. So we do have a storm tank already at the port plant. So if the storm tank's full and the plant's already maxed, then it just can't take the flow. Part of the port system is the pump station that pumps all flows from Port McNicoll to the plant. It can only accept so much flow also, and when it backs up, then we also have a overflow. I'm not sure if that answers your question. The daily flow is just the average per day.
A follow-up, please, Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Councillor Raymond.
Yeah, no, that explains it. Okay, I appreciate that. Now, another point is that, again, unfortunately, this leads a lot of people to believe that Port McNicoll is at capacity. And we are not at all talking about capacity. Am I correct in that saying?
Yeah, in the summary, and I'll say on the summary report of the port plant, we're at 56.3% capacity. So normally the way a wastewater treatment center plant works is when you start getting around the 80% capacity, you start doing your design for your expansion. Similar to Victoria Harbor, we're at 89.3 or 0.5. I forget what the point is. So we're over the 80%. You start your expansion capacity or design around 80, just before 80. And then by the time that creeps up a bit more, hopefully you've got your expansion done. From a port standpoint, we are right around the 56 average. And in my opinion, we're good still.
Okay, and we cannot actually plan adequately as a final follow. We can't plan adequately for these rain surges unless we know that they're going to always happen. These are just freaks of the last 2 years, I guess.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they're just the last 2 years, other than we've had a lot more snow event. If you took the last 5 or 7 years, the last two have been more snow. I'm gonna say prior to me being with Tay, we had overflows there also. Like this isn't something new. We haven't added a lot of new connections to the Port Nickel system. So it's been always the infiltration's always been there. Um, yeah, even the design, when you're designing something, you've always got a factor of you factor in external flows and whatnot. But yet there's so much in Port Nickel that you couldn't design a system because it's not going to run well on its average day because it's just designed too big. So we're looking at different options to help mitigate any of the overflows or the backups, but you can't just double the size of the plant and then hopefully it runs okay on the average day because it won't.
All right, that's great. Thanks, Mr. Barrio. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. I'll now call for the vote. All those in favor? Motion carried. Item 6.3, OS 2026-015, General Manager Operational Services, Manager of Engineering, read monthly activity report. I have a recommendation moved by Deputy Mayor Norris and seconded by Councillor Bumstead that reads OS 2026-015, dated April 8th, 2026, regarding the monthly activity report, operational services, March 2026 be received. Mr. Barrow, anything to add?
Nothing to add, but happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. I'll open the floor to council. Councillor Talbot.
Thank you, through the chair. Just to GM Barrio, Sean, I just wondered what this is. We're doing a feasibility study, pathway to decarbonization of community build. I guess it's buildings, right? Now, can you tell me what that is?
Yeah, so we're having a consultant come in and look at all of our buildings, libraries, the rank and whatnot, just with an effort to cut down on our carbon footprint, our use of electricity or gas in those facilities. It's a grant from the federal government that we received for this.
Okay,
Majority of this.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't recall ever having this done before. So anyway, thank you for the insight on that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Talbot. I'll now call for the vote. All those in favor? Motion carried. Back to you, Deputy Mayor.
Thanks, Councillor Larma. Great work again on the reports from staff. We'll go to corporate services. Councillor Bumstead.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Item 7.1, CS-2026-033, Deputy Treasurer Monthly Activity Report. I have a motion moved by Councillor LaChapelle, seconded by Councillor Larma, that reads that item CS-2026-033, dated April 8th, 2026, regarding the monthly activity report, financial services, March 2026, be received. Does the treasurer have anything further to add to the report?
Nothing further to add, but happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Emmy. Council, any questions or comments? Seeing none, I will now call the vote. All those in favor? And that motion is carried. Thank you. Item 7.2, CS-2026-035, Municipal Clerk, Library CEO, monthly activity report. I have a motion moved by Councillor Talbot, seconded by Deputy Mayor Norris, that reads that item CS-2026-035 dated April 8th, 2026, regarding the monthly activity report, legislative services, March 2026, be received. Does the clerk have anything further to add to her report?
Thank you, Councillor Bumstead. Nothing further to add, but happy to answer any questions council may have.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council? Seeing none, I will now call the vote. All those in favor? And that motion is carried. Item 7.3, CS-2026-034, Chief Administrative Officer, Deputy Clerk, monthly activity report. I have a motion moved by Councillor LaChapelle, seconded by Councillor Raymond, that reads that item CS-2026-034 dated April 8th, 2026, regarding the monthly activity report, CAO Deputy Clerk, March 2026, be received. Does the CAO have anything further to add to her report?
Thank you, Chair Bumstead. Nothing further at this point, but here for questions.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council? Seeing none, I will now call the vote. All those in favor? And that motion is carried. Thank you. And I will move it back to Deputy Mayor Norris.
Thanks, Councillor Bumstead. Well done, staff. Great on the reports. That leads us to other business. We have none. Brings us to items for information, correspondence, Simcoe County District School Board, protecting local voice in public education. Mayor Walker has asked to have this pulled, so Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I think council's probably had an opportunity to read this. As you know, there has been some discussion, some rumors with respect to the province eliminating public or separate or public school trustees. And this is a letter from the board asking us to send a letter of support for retaining the school board trustee. Just wondered if there's any comments from council on that. Excuse me. It's confusing. Sometimes some of the election forms that are out refer to school boards, some don't. Last night I attended election prompt from some provincial reps, and in that presentation they did note the process for school board trustees. So I guess the board is just looking for some support that those trustee positions should be retained. So I was going to send a letter of support, but before I did, I just wanted to make sure that council was okay with it. I'm not seeing any opposition, so I'll go ahead. Oh, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Walker, thank you. There was a suggested recommendation within that letter. Would you like me to read it?
Sure, please.
Okay.
I'm just having trouble finding it.
No problem. Whereas locally elected trustees provide essential community representation, and whereas rural communities rely on trustees to reflect local priorities, ensure accountability, and advocate for students, and whereas proposed changes may reduce or eliminate locally elected trustees, and therefore be it resolved that council affirms support for maintaining elected trustees, and further that the mayor and clerk send a joint letter to the Minister of Education and the Premier with copies to OPSBA, Roma, AMO, and local MPPs, asking for a government pause on this issue and asking the government to commit to a full-scale, transparent, and province-wide consultation on school board governance models.
Any, I'll let the deputy mayor take over for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. And just based on the resolution, I don't support it. I don't know enough about what an actual school trustee actually does, only from my own personal experience. I think it can be done better. I think the province is looking at that. So I won't be in favor of supporting that resolution at this point, the way it's worded.
Okay, I think the one thing to note in the resolution, it does describe the good points of having locally elected trustees. And then in the last paragraph, what it's asking for is a government pause on the issue and asking the government to commit to a full-scale, transparent, and province-wide consultation before making any decisions. So that's basically what we're supporting. So, Deputy Mayor, did you want to conduct a vote, or did you want me to?
No, I can. I'll take over. So,
okay.
Everybody's heard the resolution. I have it moved by Mayor Walker, seconded by Councillor Talbot. All those in favor? Let's see, and there we are. It's carried. Sorry, I was looking for everybody there. So, next item we have is the resolution, the City of Sarnia, strengthening municipal accountability and public trust, Bill 9. Mayor Walker.
Thank you again, Deputy Mayor. Again, this is something that's out there with respect to the process under Code of Conduct, the Integrity Commissioner, and so on. The concern that they're having with respect to Bill 9 is that in Bill 9, the reference is made that on a serious issue where the council member is found negligent, that the council of the related municipality decides on whether or not to remove the person from their seat. And I guess what they're looking for here is that something different than that it puts a municipal council in a awkward position, voting on dismissal of one of their own members. And the only part that I'm a little confused with is the last paragraph. It says, if the provincial government intends to maintain municipal council's responsibility for adjudicating such decision, that the threshold should be revised. A 2/3 majority or a simple majority of council excluding the subject matter would provide a more reasonable, fair, and workable standard. So I'm not sure what that seems to be a little, it's talking about 2/3 and then it's talking about a simple vote, which as far as I know, it would be a simple vote. So I just wondered what council's reaction to this would be, or whether we should just receive it for information at this time, because to my mind, it is a little bit confusing with that last paragraph. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Deputy Mayor, you're muted.
My apologies. Questions for the mayor, Councillor LaChapelle?
No, I concur with the mayor to receive it as information. I just found it a little bit odd how to read it, so.
Okay. Seeing no more questions, so we will receive that as information. Okay, next item, we have delegation follow-up. We didn't have one. General discussion, committee staff questions and answer period. So I'll open the floor, and I see Councillor Raymond.
Thank you, Your Worship. Sorry, Deputy Mayor. I saw His Worship have his hand up. My question is going to be aimed to him, so perhaps he wants to speak first in case he might be answering the question.
Oh, Mayor Walker.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor and Councillor Raymond. I just really wanted to ask the fire chief. There's been, I think council has noted recently, we've been awarded another grant from the province, and this time it's with respect to emergency services, and it's with respect to us obtaining a portable building. So I just wondered if the chief could maybe explain to us, he has told me about it, but just for council's information in case you're queried from a member of the public.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So yes, they're inflatable structures. So there's two of them on their way here right now. They're in the case that we have to house some of our own community, they are also portable. So we can go to any Vasey, Waverly, Wabashine, or add some sort of additional capacity here at Oakwood or even in Port McNichol. The idea would be nice if we can put them on the rinks because it's a nice flat surface, but depending on the situation, they can also be put on the ground. It takes about an hour to set each one of them up, and there's portable heating and a generator that we would have to put to it, but the heaters are on their way as well. And that just builds capacity. The ice storm last year, although we had to take a few people in shelter in place, the temperature was in our favor. If that were to happen at a time of year where the temperature was not in our favor, you'll find more of our community requiring assistance. And thankfully, that sometimes after these happen, some of our community members take it upon themselves to make themselves more resilient. And hopefully, we don't have a capacity issue in the future, but we're prepared if we do. Sorry, Mr. Mayor, one last thing. Once we do have them, we will set them up and maybe have a day where everybody can come take a look at them too. I would imagine the MP for the area will want to get a photo. And sorry, I keep cutting you off. Sorry. The MP will want to come and get a photo op with us and see what they look like as well. So
thanks a lot, Chief. That's a great idea to do a photo op, maybe have Jill come up. And also I just wanted to thank you for the foresight. I never even thought of something like this. And last time we did have people at the office, and we kind of lucked out because of the weather was rather mild, but that could have turned into a real problem. So great idea, and glad that everything went well with the grant. Thanks. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. That's it for me.
Thanks, Mayor Walker. Councillor Raymond.
Thank you. Through the chair. No, my question is actually directed to His Worship. Hate to bring up a discussion again on this. County council changes. I was reading up, trying to catch some additional information on this, and it seems like, unless I'm mistaken, one of the ideas is to provide the warden with strong mayor powers. Is this a reality, or was this just an idea being floated? Do you know? Have they announced anything? Thank you.
Thanks. Through you, Deputy Mayor. Thanks, Councillor Raymond. Yes, the province is proposing to pass legislation to reduce the county council membership from 32 to 16, plus implement a full-time warden. And that warden would have strong mayor powers. Also, the warden would be appointed by the province, which is a little bit controversial at this point.
Thank you. Is there additional? Is there any value on us writing the province, expressing any concerns we may have as a council on some of those ideas, or is it premature at this time?
Are you talking about the reduction or the appointed warden?
No, the appointed warden and the strong mayor powers. That's the part that has me personally concerned.
Okay. We have a county council meeting on Tuesday. I suspect the issue is going to come up there. So I would suggest that we wait, and then we could always pass something at our next council meeting if council wish to send something with respect to the appointment. And I think the strong mayor powers are going to be in effect in any case, but the appointment has caused some discussion concerns with various members.
Yeah, it just seems we're getting further and further away from elected officials, one thing after another. Anyway, thank you, Your Worship and Deputy Mayor. I'm done. That's it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, just if I could, Deputy Mayor, the province currently has that practice for the appointment of the chair of the Muskoka region, where they appoint. And I think that they're proposing provincial appointments. It's not just Simcoe County that they're making this proposal for. There's some like Niagara region and so on as well. But we'll get more clarification on that at Tuesday, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Wacker. Maybe I can chime in the others. 5 other regional governments that the appointments will be appointed by the province. They will all have the strong mayor's powers. And again, the same laws pertain to strong mayor powers. If a council doesn't, they can veto it. It takes 2/3 of the council to veto it. So strong mayor powers are only good to a certain point. So other than that, the only other question, I'll just back up to the chief. I know within the report, what was the total grant sum? Because I couldn't find it even on their website. So I wasn't sure.
The maximum amount of the grant was $50,000. I think we got $49,998.21. So it was actually mentioned when they awarded it that we put it right to the max. So
thanks, Chief. That just clarifies it, because even on the provincial website, I couldn't see what we got. So that clarifies that. So any other questions? Staff? No. Council? No. So we have no closed session, no closed session reporting. So that leads to adjournment. The resolution that the Committee of the Whole meeting adjourned at 9:12 a.m. And I have moved by Councillor Larma, seconded by Councillor Talbot. All those in favor? And that is carried. Well done, everybody. We'll catch everybody at some point in time.